What's going on, guys? Gains back here again. So today we got 10 surprising facts about Cambodia. And as my channel has a lot of different Cambodian fans, a lot of KHMER people from me reacting to Vanda and various Cambodian artists, you know, I wanted to really explore the country because I don't personally know anything about Cambodia, guys. You know, I obviously live in an island. It's way away, like 10,000 kilometers away. So it'd be interesting to see the country that I'm always reacting to and see what the culture is like there. Now, I will eventually visit Southeast Asia, Vietnam, Cambodia, all these different places, Malaysia as well, someday. But until that day, we're just gonna research about it on the internet, guys. So hit that subscribe button, check out my Patreon as well. This one should be incredible. Tell me in the comments down below if you guys want me to react to any other, you know, countries that I wouldn't really be going to in the near future. So I love the intro of this one. It says the most beautiful thing in Cambodia isn't the country, it's the people. It's the Cambodian people, guys. So obviously they're very friendly, very welcoming, like here in Ireland. KHMER means 100,000 welcomes. So let's get it, guys.
Cambodia is a really fascinating country that wows many people who visit it, and for many foreigners, it's a totally different world. However, those who live within the country and around it know that it is an essential pulse to the great area of the world that they call South or Southeast Asia. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to F2D Facts. My name is Dave Wapple, and welcome to the channel where I look at people, cultures, and places from all around the world. And today, we're talking about Cambodia. So I think we should just dive right into it, guys. Let's spliggity splash and get going. So Cambodia is located in Southeast Asia.
Cool. So yeah, we all know it's in Southeast Asia. I didn't know it was that close to Thailand or Vietnam. That's very close. So it's actually in the middle of Thailand and Vietnam. Cool.
As I said prior. And for some strange reason, here on the channel, I've talked a lot about Thailand and I've talked about Vietnam, but I've just forgotten about Cambodia. So
never do
gotta
that.
Fix that.
Never do
now,
that.
when we look at Cambodia, one of the first things I want to talk about is its land size. Now, currently, it sits at 88th in the world, with it having a land size of 181,053 kilometers square. And because of its many rivers and lakes, it has a water percentage of 2.5%. As a matter of fact, I'm going to get into lakes a little bit later because there's a really interesting fact about one particular lake within Cambodia, but we'll get to that a little bit later. Which, by the way, guys, while you're watching this video, at any time, if you're really liking the content and you want more Cambodian content, you can hit that like button, and I'll either do a part 2 or I'll do other content around Cambodia because it's a great country. So with Cambodia, just like other countries that are from South Asia or Southeast Asia, it pretty much has its own center of land. It doesn't own any other constitutional countries or anything of that nature. Basically, everything that's in Cambodia, Cambodia owns. However, with that, within this land size, there is a population of 16,245,729 people. Now that number...
That's triple the population of Ireland, guys.
Is based off of a 2018 estimate because an actual census hasn't been done since 2001. Back then, the actual census read the population at 13.39 million people. However, within this population and land size, they have a density of 88 people per square kilometer, making this country rank 118th in terms of density of population. So now Cambodia is actually realistically called and officially called the Kingdom of Cambodia. I don't know why I said it like that. I felt like really giving the emphasis because it is a kingdom. However, truth be told, within the 20th century alone, Cambodia has gone through so many different name changes. But however, it was originally named the Kingdom of Cambodia in 1953 after it got its independence from France. And of course, this name...
France owned Cambodia? What the hell? I didn't know that, guys. I know that England owned, like, a load of countries in Africa, a load of countries in Latin America, but I didn't know that France owned Cambodia. That's crazy. That's an interesting fact. I did not know that.
Name stayed until 1970. After that, the country was called the KHMER Republic from 1970 to 1975. Then there was the Democratic Kampuchea from 1975 to 1979.
So they have a long history, guys. This is a long history of what's going on in the country, you know?
There was also the People's Republic of Kampuchea from 79 to 89, and then it evolved into the state of Cambodia from 89 to 93. Now, those last two names I gave you, one really interesting thing is that during that time from 79 to 93, the country was pretty much occupied and under the control of Vietnam, just kind of the way it was. However, since 1993, the country now has gone back to its original name. It's gotten its independence from everybody, and it is the Kingdom of Cambodia. Which actually reminds me, this country also has a rather unique form of government. It's got a long description of its government, as a matter of fact. Basically, in today's world, the type of government it is classified as a unitary, meaning that there is one form of government that makes the decisions, a dominant party, parliamentary, elective, constitutional monarchy. Dominant party basically...
It's a monarchy, but not fully?
Means that the parties have beaten out other parties so well that they don't see them being beaten in the foreseeable future. And of course, with it being a monarchy and a kingdom, the country has...
It is a monarchy, so they have a king and a queen, right?
As a king and a queen, in which the current ruler is Norodom Sihamoni. Now, this also reminds me, can you guess what the official language in Cambodia is? Go ahead, guess. Just try. Bet you $5 you're going to get it wrong because you're going to say Cambodian. I knew it, I knew it, I knew it. Truth be told, the actual official language is called KHMER, and that's all.
KHMER. So yeah, we knew that, guys. The official language is KHMER because that's the most old language. That's the people of the region, right?
Also, what makes this country very fascinating, it's one of the very few countries in the world that doesn't have its language within its name. And to go further into this, people of Cambodia are actually theoretically classified as the people of KHMER, and the language itself is under what is known as the Austro-Asiatic language family, which realistically is a language that was very popular in Southeast Asia. It didn't migrate up into China all that well. It did go into India, but not too much. So one thing that is a little different compared to other nations, most countries have a major religion. Now, of course, Cambodia does, but its major religion is not theoretically classified as a religion. And this is, of course, Buddhism, which makes up 96.6% of the population. However, the reason why some people don't classify it as a religion is because the person Buddha is more or less an inspirational individual who put these people on a path for peace.
Yeah,
now,
that's
of course,
really cool. So Buddha is like a badass. That's a cool religion.
I'm just kind of generalizing the whole thing. There's some people out there who probably are Buddhists who say, yes, it is a religion. There are some people who are Buddhists who say, well, it's more or less a way of life than an actual religion. But the crazy part is, although Theravada Buddhism is the biggest, they have over 4,392 temples dedicated to this religion within the country. Which is pretty fascinating for some individuals who probably think that to be a Buddhist, you have to climb all the way up into the mountains and, you know, pray and meditate and all that stuff. No, you can do it down the street from where you live in Cambodia. It's not that hard. So, okay, here is the next major fact. Now, I'm going to give everybody a little bit of a heads up. This is a bit of a negative fact towards the country. Basically, within the country, it is the highest rate of amputees of any country in the world.
Oh, yeah, they have crazy landmines. I think like 80% of the country is like landmined or something from the Vietnam War, right? Because they didn't want the Americans, Vietnam didn't want the Americans coming in from the West. Yeah, crazy.
And the sad, unfortunate truth to this is because the country is filled with landmines. For example, my brother recently traveled there and he told me that you cannot go off of the beaten trail. You have to go on designated paths because they don't know if there's mines there or not.
That's insane.
To give you an idea of how bad it is, since 1979, there has been over 64,000 casualties from mines alone.
From 1979, there's been 64,000 casualties. Holy, that's insane. So, yeah, the Vietnamese, they put up a ton of landmines and like stuff to prevent the Americans from basically taking over the west side. They had to come in from the east, so it made their job a lot harder, right?
And even in 2017, there was 111 casualties. 111. To further dive into this, in 2002, they said that 20% of the rural villages have mines within them and they don't know about them. And just in case anybody, you know, got a little confused, I'm talking land mines, you know, like the ones that you step on and you blow up. I just realized that I don't think I said land mines at all. So that could get a little confusing. You might be thinking like mines that you dig in. No, not that kind. But however, within the whole country, they've estimated there's approximately 4 to 6 million undetonated mines, And of course, with
46 million, or did he say 4 to 6?
they've estimated there's approximately 4 to 6 million
4 to 6 million. 6 million undetonated landmines, guys. That's insane.
detonated mines. And of course, with the current funding, they say that it'll take at least 10 to 20 years, if not 100 years, to clear every single mine in the country. So let's take a little step back from the negative side. Let's look at the economy of Cambodia, because as a matter of fact, it's a growing economy and it's doing quite well. Although, yes, it does have problems, it is going up. That's kind of the good thing, right? So for the gross domestic product purchasing power parity, which is a good way to compare nations, Cambodia sits at $70.242 billion with approximately $4,322 per capita. But let's take a look at how some of this money is spent and earned. For example, the exports of the country, it sits at 69th of all the countries in the world, being approximately 18.4 billion. And the biggest exports in the country are garments that you wear, like shirts, shoes, that sort of thing. As a matter of fact, the whole industry of garments accounts for 80% of the economic output.
Whoa.
And unfortunately
That's like in Ireland, except switch that with like IT. I think like 80% of the output here is IT, right?
These factories, a lot of them are owned by other countries around the world. As a matter of fact, Cambodia only owns about 5% of all the factories, and Taiwan owns a lot, being at like 28% of all factories in the country. But what kind of stuff is exported? Well, knit sweaters alone make up 11% of the exports. Knit women's suits also come in at second at 8.1%. And besides that, for the exports, you've also got scrap metal and gold, which also does quite a bit. Before anybody jumps to conclusions and saying, hey, isn't rice a big thing in Cambodia? Well, it is. It's just not a huge export compared to other countries in South Asia or Southeast Asia. As a matter of fact, its percentage of rice yield is the lowest of all Asian countries.
That lady there, 155. You know what I mean? They had the longest living people ever, and they work till they're like 150 years old, guys. It's crazy.
But keep in mind, rice is a very important thing of the economy of Cambodia, and it's been around since at least the 1st century BC. It's been there for a while. And I don't know about you guys, but I love rice. As a matter of fact, I love it so much that I got really excited the other day, and I put some in the microwave, and I'm not gonna lie, I forgot about it. I had to run out and do something, and then I looked the next day, and I was like, oh, that rice! I really wanted to eat that. Between you and me, I was really debating on actually eating that. The day-old rice that's been in the microwave. I didn't. I threw it in the garbage.
This guy's a quirky dude.
But however, like I said, when it comes to its GDP, yes, of course, it could be better. But however, Cambodia is one of the fastest growing economies in Asia. And as a matter of fact, in the last 10 years, it's grown by 7.6%. Now, with this, of course, there's a lot of imports coming in at 14.5 billion, ranking 84th in the world. The biggest of this is light rubberized knit fabric coming in at 9.8%, refined petroleum at 9%, and of course, gold coming in at 4%. Of course, there's a bunch of others as well. I'm not going to go into all of them because we'll be here for an entire week. Nice. So, remember how I said I was going to talk about water and lakes and stuff? Well, now's the time because we're going to get into it. We're going to talk about the biggest lake in Cambodia, and that is the lake known as Tonle Sap, literally meaning the largest river. Yo, by the way, I know some of you guys are out there, you guys are just like, oh my god, Dave, that is not how you pronounce Tonle Sap. I'm English, guys, come on, cut me a break. Either way, this large lake comes in at approximately 2,700 kilometers square. And weirdly enough, it is not a deep lake as it has an average depth of 1 meter. With the deepest points being to approximately 10 meters. I know a lot of you guys out there are going, Joe, wait, that's not a lake. It's too...
I'm delighted to...
So it's really shallow. It's 1 meter deep, so they build their houses in it? That seems kind of...
too small. It's like just a giant pond. Look, guys, I am from Canada. I know all about the Great Lakes. Yes, sure, the Great Lakes are huge. Those are big lakes. But truth be told, let's be real. The reason why they're classified as lakes is because they're a large body of water. And of course, when it comes to even like the Great Lakes, we use this body of water for our civilization. And for Cambodia and a lot of Southeast Asia, this lake itself has been a very important thing, especially in history. Because first of all, not only does it supply half of the crops and fishing for Cambodia, but it's also historically important as this was the area where the Angkorian or KHMER civilization flourished. And in case you guys don't know, what is left behind from the KHMER civilization is the largest pre-industrial complex in the entire world.
Whoa.
And if you don't believe me, the city of Angkor Thom is located right near the river, which is considered one of the last great cities of the entire empire,
awesome.
and is home to even the Bayon Temple. Which also, if you're still going to argue with me that it is not a lake, well, guess what? In 1997, it was classified as a UNESCO Biosphere Zone, so it's quite important. But I mean, guys, let's just be honest. Just imagine living on that lake and being able to go for a walk or a little bit of a drive and just be able to see some of the oldest temples and cities that have been around since, like, I don't know, the 12th century. You can't do that in Canada at the Great Lakes. It's just so, yeah, I think it's amazing. Either way, guys, that is it for me looking at some of these great...
That's crazy, guys. Yeah, so Cambodia, obviously an amazing country. Please leave in the comments down below other things to react to. Very similar to Ireland in terms of, you know, just the size of the country and the amount of people, but a little bit more people, 15 million people. A country more relatable to Ireland would be like New Zealand, but it's somewhat an island, but not really. You know, there's a lake coming in between. There's a river going in between. You know, so it's kind of cool. You know, to see other countries compared to Ireland is very strange. They have the oldest civilization beforehand. We have like fairy ring forts and like some sort of stone structures as well, but nothing to that level. That's pretty incredible, guys. That's pretty incredible. Hope you guys enjoy that. Shout out to the KHMER people. Hopefully Vanda is dropping a new song soon. I love you all, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.